Hi, welcome to OWAD today. I'm Sophia, pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue our exploration of three-character Chinese expressions a day in November. Today, we're going to talk about 脸谱化. 脸谱化 is it's not that commonly used, but when we use it, it's a little bit critical, almost like a social critique. Because when we say so and so or certain commentary or in the media, 脸谱化, that means kind of a simplification of a character, almost like you're pigeonholed into a type of either personality or your perspective or your positioning, like your simplification of a human, of a person or of a behavior, and make it almost like a character, a cartoon character. You can understand them either as good or evil. Like you have to fit in that role. There are no other aspect of this person. So it's kind of a dissecting of that person, simplify it into one number or one category. So that's Chinese way of expressing that, 脸谱化. We are here actually tapping into an probably hundreds of years of a practice of Peking opera, have the face painted in a certain way, and just by reading the artwork displayed on the face, and then people will know what character that person actually playing. So without introducing the character, by the character even do or say anything in the storyline yet, just by looking at the face, you know what a character is. So that's 脸谱. And we're using that, like you're converting somebody to fit into this labeling of, or this classification in this case, face, just by what's on the face. You classify that person into something. I mean, in the age of DEI, diversity, what is E? Gosh, I know that's inclusiveness, diversification, equality, right? And inclusion. In the age of that, like that's a movement in American culture, right? We try to be inclusive. But by doing so, actually, there is this, like, how are you going to be sure that all the sectors in the whole spectrum of human existence, you're going to say a company you hire, and you don't want to discriminate, right? And you have to base on something, and then you have to kind of classify people in a certain way. So in that sense, like Chinese culture definitely do that too. And they formulate that not only in their play, but probably in a cultural practice as well. If you see somebody wear like a dress in a certain way, especially like in ancient times, the government officials, they wear in a certain, not in today's sense, it's costume, but in the historical context, it's their uniform to signify their ranking in a government, right? So that's an effort to classify people visually, give you the visual cue. I guess that's kind of universal. But Chinese have this, 脸谱化, have this expression in our language. That means that's a practice somehow, right? However frequent, that's kind of stereotyping, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's kind of stereotyping. Okay, so 脸, we have the muscle symbol, which kind of like a big question mark with two streaks. So that's muscle, and Chinese use that to signify anything that's a body part. And the right side is having this triangle thing, and the triangle thing oftentimes we met in the language. That means, okay, the past, the present, and the future. I mean, however you want to theorize it, what triangle may look like, may mean in this culture. So one is use it as in a temporal sense, and the other one is to use it as the social structure sense. In our, most of us are familiar with this hierarchy structure of, the ruler on the very tip, and then there is this pyramid structure for the society. Okay, and because here we see the side view human figure kind of looking like that, right? Side view human figure, and two mouths. That means, well, then probably it's not less about the time, more about this hierarchy in society. So we have two. Even if they're only showing two, that means multitudes. So Chinese express multiple with sometimes just two, sometimes three. And very, very rarely we see four repetition of things. That's a lot already. So this structure means gathering, like many people, because we have this hierarchy, right? That gives you kind of societal sense already. And we have multitudes of people and people with mouths on them. So people with mouths on them means people actually have a voice, can speak, like their opinion matters. I guess in all cultures, this voice, there are different attributions of if your voice matters. In this DI age, right? I guess it's encouraged. Like no matter what role, what walks of life, or where you are in the society, everybody have ideally this equal attribution of the voice. Like now I'm putting my voice on YouTube to share what I know about this language. So that can be considered as a voice. Not everybody choose to voice out, right? I mean, there are so many language speakers, like who would bother to have a tube to talk about their language, right? And so that's one thing. And the second is you may not be in a position, like I'm not an expert. So whoever choose to spend time, I appreciate that. But I may not be viewed as the typical expert on the language, right? It's a discovery journey for me as well. I'm not telling you the truth. It's an unpacking process. It's like unpacking of this box of the cultural gift of this language that I was born into, that I'm unpacking in front of your eyes right now. So this voicing may not be, it's probably a small percentage of the population who are actually have a mouth on top of their body attached to it. Like not many people are actually having their voice. And so in this hierarchical societal structure, here are people with voices. So that means whoever is the ruler have to take their views into consideration. So that's the kind of, what we can draw from this picture. But when it pairs with the muscle or the body part symbol over here, that means it's part of the body. Originally, that means this kind of a cheek area, like that used to be the original meaning. I don't exactly know why this societal with voiced human figures in there, why attached to the body part, the whole thing actually means exactly that. I don't know. It could be an ancient practice of reading people, probably more toward the above the eye portion. We don't know the context, but eventually this only a very narrow small streak of your face eventually used to represent the whole face. We had another Chinese character that means the whole face, which is mian. That means now we're talking about mian, it's almost like a surface because it's a face on top of the face. That's surface, right? That's mian. But when we talk about lian, now this lian also represent the whole face, starting from this cheekbone area, and then that's the whole face now. Okay, anyways, that's our face. And as you can see, even if mian and lian, semantically, they're equal. They mean the whole face. But there are fixed expressions. We don't say 面谱, we always say 脸谱. So that's something you have to, I guess you have to born into to pick up, or you just memorize it now. That's the combination, that's a fixed combination. Okay, 谱, we have the speaking symbol on the left side. And on the right side, that means general or unified. Okay, the speaking sign, we talked about it many times. This is a mouth symbol, and this two convex shape connected with vertical line means inside the mouth. I mean, you can view it as kind of a pointer, like a needle pointing toward the mouth, and then this second convex shape signifies that is inside the mouth that we're talking about. And then the two horizontal lines are the sound bites. And there's another version of explaining what speaking means. It also came with ancient practice of corporal punishment, and then something related to the punishment. Because corporal punishment, one can inflict pain on another. That means there is this power difference. So somebody who can inflict pain on another person and also can speak, that's the person, in the position to speak. Somebody who is in a power position. I guess if you're a slave, you're sealed. You don't have your sound back then. But whoever can speak comes with power with it. So that's my second rendering of why the symbol means speaking. So speaking. The right side is two standing up human figures. And it's interesting, you see human figure, Chinese can render it as side profile views of the arms and legs. Kind of side view is kind of skinny finger, right? Because from the side, our body is the narrowest. But if you have a frontal view, your body have a larger area, like from this dimension, from this view. So this is this frontal view, full standing figure. And language creators intentionally choose this frontal view of human figure to means, I mean, the two character actually means stand, means standing up, facing you, right? Facing the language user version direction. And then the bottom is the sun symbol. So we have the sun, a sphere. Horizontal line means energy inside the sun. So two frontal, again, it doesn't mean exactly two, it means multitudes of people facing the sun. And according to the scholars, I mean, I have to rely on scholarly reading of the character many times because a lot of times is out of my imagination, is ancient practice. Like, how would I know why people created in this way, right? So according to scholars, this means people kind of forming a human wall to block the sun. That's why the blocking is the main function of people standing frontal view here. That's why the frontal view of human figure is chosen here and in front of the sun, right, to block. And by blocking the sun, it creates this darkness. Therefore, anything in the shadow, like without the sun direct sunlight on it, you cannot tell the distance. That's the scholarly reading. I don't exactly know. I feel it's a weird practice to block the sun. Like, how can you block it just by standing? The sun is up there tall. Like, how can you block the sun? But the current meaning as we know it is kind of uniform. Means you cannot tell the distance or you cannot tell the color. Everything is applied evenly. I mean, okay, right now, right there, I have a second thought about this. The sun shining on each individual, facing the sun. That means the sun is even-handed. The sun doesn't give anybody extra love, shine something. Shine its light on somebody stronger than the other, right? The sun is indiscriminate. Ta-da! That's my own reading of the character. So that means it's evenly distributed. That's the ultimate equality, isn't it? Like all our humans who are standing on Earth were treated with the equal access to the sun, to the air, to the biosphere, right? So that's the ultimate equality there. And of course, all of us are going to face death. The whole biology thing, the first essential layer of our existence is equal. And then the social structure, this triangle thing, that's later add on, second layer. Okay, so in any case, this means uniformly, universally, no discrimination. Yeah, indiscriminately. Okay, so that's 普. Now 普 with speaking, or whoever has in the power to speak. Together means classification. I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? So when you can come up with a certain description or rule or definition, and you can uniformly apply it to a certain setting, then that's your way of classification. That's how you can extract the common features of something and make it kind of a rule written down into a book to classify it into something. So 普 eventually becomes this classification concept. So face classification, that means you're identifying a character by reading the face. And this 脸谱 especially is about this complex, intricate drawings on the face. And 画, again, about transformation. You can go to any of the episodes in a few days. I'm talking about this flipping of the person give you the sense of changing. Something remained the same structurally, but something changed, like reoriented. It's a different thing now. So that's how Chinese express transform. 脸谱化 means characterization. So I talked about this is equivalent of an English stereotyping. So where's 脸谱化, where making that person, pigeonhole that person into a particular character, and everything from that person have to fit in that box. We kind of then become tunnel visioned, become close-minded, not seeing that person as a full person. We're seeing that as a character. So that's what 脸谱化 is. I'm showing you how, in the process of this artist, is before going on stage, drawing this intricate line painting, painting on the face, so that the actor can play out this character by his behaviors, right? His performance, as well as his face. That's the first thing the audience will see and identify, oh, this is who so and so in the play. Okay, so that's 脸谱化. Cash into the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.